Good evening, wonderful Up You community, and welcome to Up You with Ezinne. How are you all doing? How was your week? I trust everyone is in a good place, anticipating Valentine in a bit. Yippee! Love is in the air. By all means, please celebrate, but don't break a bank. It's love after all, and it shouldn't cost a thing. We all know that song. My love don't cost a thing. I'm sure some people want to come and murder me. Okie dokie. So we're doing Valentine giveaway on this program next week. Please follow us on all our social media handles at UpyouwithEzinne to see the Valentine giveaway instructions. Good luck, everyone. Today we're continuing on our Soak Up series, and we will be discussing the importance of female mentorship. It's our hour on radio, and I'm here to keep you company as usual. So come on, beautiful people, let's do this. Finding self, finding purpose. My name is Ezinne Kufre-Kanem, and I'm your host. Mentoring is a protected relationship which supports learning and experimentation and helps individuals develop their potential. A mentoring relationship is one where both mentor and mentee recognize the need for personal development. Successful mentoring is based upon trust and confidentiality. A mentor is the one teaching, guiding, while a mentee is the person being trained. This is my layman's explanation. Our guest today will tell us exactly what mentoring is and who a mentor and a mentee, who they are. Sometimes the female mentor is addressed as a Femtor. I found that very interesting. Mentor, Femtor. Mentoring can be formal or informal. In an informal environment, mentees set goals, but they are usually not measurable, and the relationships are unstructured. But for a formal mentoring relationship, there are actionable and measurable goals defined and set with determined requirements. Often the mentor and mentee are internal to an organization, and there is an emphasis on organizational goals, culture, career goals, advice on professional development, and work-life balance. Effective mentors often act as role models and sounding boards for their mentee and provide guidance to help them reach their goals. May I remind you, dear listener, that all episodes of Up You with Ezinne are now up on our YouTube channel. Please go catch up, take the nuggets you need to run for your life and dreams. Subscribe and leave us a comment. It will help us to serve you better. Remember, it's all about you finding self, finding purpose. Today, as usual, we're streaming on Instagram, Up You with Ezinne, on Facebook, WFM 91.7, and at LiveRadio.com. The importance of female mentorship. The time now is 7 minutes past 4, and you're tuned in to Up You with Ezinne on WFM 91.7. Why is mentoring important? A good mentor can help the mentee become more effective at work, learn new skills, develop greater confidence, and make better decisions for their overall career growth. It's not a one-sided relationship. Mentors, or Femtors if you like, report many benefits as well, including satisfaction from seeing others develop, from seeing expanded generational and cultural perspectives, strengthening of technical, leadership, and impersonal skills, and of course continuing to experience new ideas and insights, not to mention the gap bridging that such relationships provide. So they bring you up to speed with their millennial tactics, and then you pass on your generational wisdom to them. When done right, mentoring or mentorship offers a win-win for both parties involved. Our guest today is Mrs. Ngozi Nzegwu, founder, CEO, Jugo Limited, founding president, Association of Promotional Products Specialists of Nigeria, APSON, founding chairperson, We Connect International Nigeria, pioneer chairperson, Wimboard Mentoring Committee of Wimbiz, founder, Kingdom Investors, director, Financial Derivatives Company Limited, advisory board director, Youth and Gender Network, Member, Promotional Products Association International, PPAI USA. In Nigeria, she belongs to Enterprise Development Center of Pan-African University as a life ambassador. She is a member of Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Ngozi is very passionate about women empowerment. She chaired Wimboard Mentoring Committee, a platform that mentors senior female executives and entrepreneurs who desire to sit on boards. Who better to speak to us on the role of female mentorship? Dear listeners, join me in welcoming our very special guest on the show today, a soaked-up powerhouse, Mrs. Ngozi Nzegwu. Good evening, Ngozi. How are you today? Are you online?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
What did you say? Could you up your volume a bit?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly loud and clear. Can you hear me too?
Oh, sure. I can hear you very well.
Fantastic. It's really wonderful to have you on the show today. Thank you.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Ezinne. I am so honored to be part of your show today. You are doing an amazing work, and I must say that you are really raising the bar, and I'm very proud of you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That gingers me, eh? Thank you very much. Okie dokie. So, when I called you at night, very late at night, to say I'd like you to come on the program and everything, you didn't hesitate to accept. And when I told you the topic, I'm sure you were wondering, But of course, when I now got your bio and read your bio, I'm like, couldn't have chosen somebody else to talk about mentorship. I don't know. So let's start from the beginning. They always say it's good to start from the beginning. So please tell us, what is mentorship?
Okay. Simply put, it is a relationship where an individual with experience, knowledge, connections is able to pass on what they have learned and experienced to a person or group of people. So mentorship is just an influence, guidance and direction by a mentor to a mentee. So basically you are transferring what you know to a mentee, who most of the time will be someone who is learning. It doesn't have anything to do with age. At times people think that it's an older person that should mentor a younger person. I must tell you that some of my mentors are younger than myself. So it's the experience we are talking about, and then the availability and the fact that they are accessible and passionate about mentoring.
Thank you. This, your definition, has brought up a whole other words that we are not all very familiar with, and then I'm going to be asking you to expatiate on the words. But I like the fact that you said that a mentor doesn't have to be older than the mentee. Yes, because I also used to have that misconception, thinking that you must be older for you to teach me something. But now the younger ones know a lot too, and they can also pass it on to somebody else. So for the avoidance of doubt, so that we can set the stage for this conversation to flow, could you please tell us who is a mentor and who is a mentee?
Okay, a mentor is someone who can support, advise, and guide the mentee. Mentee is the one who is being mentored.
So
this means that a mentor takes very active interest in your career, serves as a sounding board, shares the experiences and wisdom, encourages new ways of thinking, challenges your assumptions and helps you learn new skills. There are different types of mentoring. You have the traditional one-on-one where a mentee and a mentor are matched either through a structured program. Some organizations, so many corporates are doing that at the moment.
Okay.
Or, you can see that someone has what you want and has the experience that you lack, and both of you can agree on a mentoring program. So in that case, it's just you approaching someone you think that you have something to learn from. And then, of course, there is the distance mentoring where two parties are in different locations, and then you're having a virtual mentoring program. And there are so many digital platforms that can be used for that. And of course, there is also the group mentoring where a single mentor is matched with a cohort of mentees. So there is one mentor and there are
lots of mentees.
Yeah, there are many mentees. So what is very critical in all of this is experiential knowledge. Otherwise, it becomes ordinary teaching or an academic exercise. The fact that you are sharing experience and expertise is what is very critical and very different with any other form of transferring of knowledge.
Wow.
Because I have to give you what I have and what I have experienced so that I can fast track your own journey or fast track your success. That is what it's all about.
Thank you. Now that we are all clear on these terms, we know what mentorship is, we know who a mentor is, and we know who a mentee is. I'm just going to open the phone lines because I want this conversation to be rapid and fast. So the numbers to call are 070917917. The number to text is 07031756537. Now back to you, Ngozi. Last year, which is one of the reasons why I sought you out this year. Last year, during the pandemic, you pulled off a mentoring feat. I don't think I've come across anything like what you did. You were able to pioneer, and that seems to be your name. In fact, after this show, I'm just going to be calling you the founder Ngozi or the pioneer Ngozi because you're just pioneering and founding all over the place. So you were able to pioneer a high-powered mentoring program that targeted women who are already on board, and those desiring to sit on boards, and female entrepreneurs desiring to put in place functional boards. Right in the middle of the pandemic, you ran 2 cohorts. You had over 100 women join from different parts of the world in a virtual mentoring program. Please, can you tell the world how you did that? I haven't gotten over it.
Okay. Me too. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It was early 2020, just before the pandemic struck.
Yes.
I was asked by the leadership of Wimbiz. I'm an associate in Wimbiz, to chair the committee, a Wimboard mentoring committee. And from ground zero, we hit the ground running. At the core of our terms of reference was to design a mentoring program for senior female executives who desire to sit on boards. Existing female board members, that's women who are already sitting on boards, who want to be more impactful. And then, of course, female entrepreneurs like you and I, who are business owners, who want to scale up by putting in place well-structured boards. This program gives the mentees access to mentors. And the mentors are board gurus, that's experts with immense board experience, who will provide the critical experiential knowledge to the mentees. So my team and I, after several strategy sessions or brainstorming sessions, we came up with what we called thought generators. And those are, why do we need a board mentoring program? Of course, we need that for diversity and for inclusion. Because before then, I was the vice chair of the advisory committee, advocacy committee of Wimbiz. And we visited a couple of companies here in Lagos, especially the large corporates, to advocate for more women to be on board. Okay. And it was an eye-opener for me, which I will talk about later. So, and then the next thought generator was, who do we want to mentor? What are our deliverables and how do we deliver? how will this be economically viable and sustainable for WIMBIs, because it was supposed to be a fee-paying program.
Mm-hmm.
And then how will the mentors and mentees be profiled? How will the program be structured so that it will be different from normal academic exercise, like going to Lagos Business School or Harvard Business School? How will that be different? And then what will success look like? How do we know and how do we measure success? In answering those questions, we designed what now became modules. And what is very interesting about what we designed is the fact that it's homemade. I recall people asking, is this, did you adapt from the Harvard Business School or somewhere, which business school? It was actually a fallout from the experience that I had earlier on. Yeah. I was part of the WIM board team that also went to business school in Spain.
Okay.
I was part of that team that went to business school in Spain, and we found out that everything about the content was not Nigerian at all and not relatable. But we wanted something that has Nigerian or what we call local content.
Yeah.
So, and then when COVID happened, we quickly pivoted, and instead of thinking that about 20 people will join, about 61 women from 5 countries of the world registered.
Wow.
And we had women from Canada, UK, US, Ghana, different parts of the world. And by the time we finished the first cohort, the second cohort was oversubscribed. For second cohort, we had about 77 women that joined. We had women from Haiti, from Netherlands, and different parts of the world.
Interesting. From Nigeria to the world.
From Nigeria, yes. And then
from Nigeria to the world.
Like I said, the content, we had things like personal branding for brand effectiveness. We had like Journey to the Boardroom. We had Boardroom Dynamics. We had board stimulation. And the kind of people that the mentors that came on board, these are men and women with
rich resource.
Very rich experience. And then, of course, the WIMBIs brand was able to, attract the kind of mentors that we had. And then, of course, the mentees as well.
Honestly, when I saw that, I saw it on the Instagram. I was really very proud of you. And I made a mental note to ask you how that was done. And I'm sorry I'm asking you on air, but I mean, I just had to ask you. It's good that you've also shared it for all of us to learn from. So the numbers to call again, people, is 07000-917-917. The number to text is 070-317-56537. Okay, so that establishes the fact that you know what you're about. Can you kindly share your perspective to female mentorship, especially now that the woman is emerging globally? If you were targeting from what you did, you were already talking to the senior cadre, and I'm thinking if people who are already prepared to sit on boards and all of that, and entrepreneurs like you and I are looking for mentors and getting mentoring every day, what more the woman on the streets? What's your perspective?
I strongly believe that it's an obligation to support women in both corporate and business world as they navigate their journey to the top. Mentoring is one of the greatest strategies to close the gender gap. One thing that I found out as we went from company to company is the fact that if you want more women to hold the executive position, which is why in designing the WIMBOD program, we also targeted women, the middle level management, those that we called, like funnel.
Okay.
These are the women that should aspire to be in executive positions.
Entry-level positions?
Yes, entry-level executive position. But they cannot get there if it is not intentional to strategically position them. So in each of those meetings, we had the head of HR sitting with us. Because you
Very
cannot...
critical.
I cannot ask for the menu if I'm not sitting at the table.
True.
So to make sure that those women are positioned and mentored, to be able to aspire for leadership position in organizations, professional development as well as, guide them through the challenges that they navigate. In a lot of the companies that we went to, they told us that at entry level, they had more women than men join the organization, but somewhere at middle level management, you can't see the women anymore. And the truth is that is the time they get married. That is the time they begin to have children and begin to have their families. And that is when you cannot find those women anymore. So to make the environment friendly by having things like crash, and also now that COVID has happened, we know that you can work from anywhere. So I strongly believe that if we are not mentoring the younger ones, like those of us who are entrepreneurs, and we are looking for experienced hands, where are we going to get them from? It has to be deliberate and intentional. So that is my perspective. It was Michelle Obama that said, there is no limit to what we as women can accomplish when we support each other. So when women are mentoring women, because, we have the same commonality, we have the same issues. When the men go to network, when they go to play golf, when they hang out with the boys, the women are rushing home to do homework with the children. They are rushing to do, those are the God-given assignments that God has given to us.
Yeah.
And we need to do more. Women who are in leadership need to do more to mentor those who are coming behind them, so that the gender gap will be closed. I don't know if it's going to be closed, but at least to make it
bridged.
To narrow it a bit.
Bridged.
And it is also in the interest of both the men and the women.
Okay. Yeah.
Because,
as we were saying, when you were speaking, you said that women at entry positions are usually more than men, but later on it tapers, and they don't find the women. And that brings me to ask you, really, women don't usually plot a career path. I think they just come out of university and then they know the next thing is to work, so they get a job. And most times they take the available jobs, and they just do their jobs and take whatever promotions come to them. How can women learn through mentoring to plot a path to the boardroom, to the directorate, to break the ceilings and diligently walk that path and achieve it?
I believe it should be intentional and deliberate. If you want to aspire to be at the top, number one, get competence, get knowledge, build capacity. It's not tokenism. I just want to make that clear, that it's not, the men are not allowing us. That is not the language we should use. It is because you are going to add value.
True.
And because you are deliberate and intentional about positioning yourself where you will be seen and making sure that your work speaks for you. Women suffer from imposter syndrome.
A lot.
Whereas a man who has 20% of what you have will raise his hands to take up a position. The woman is asking herself, am I really qualified? What do I need to do? to be able to take on this position. So it's a paradigm shift, a mindset shift.
Okay, we have a call. Let's take it.
Yourself and say,
Hold on, Ngozi, please. We have a call. Hello, good afternoon. This is UpyouwithEzinne. May I know who's calling? I'm from where you're calling.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Richard.
Richard, how are you today? You are first caller.
I'm calling from Ojodu.
Okay.
Yes. I want to ask a question concerning mentorship.
You did what?
Hello?
Yes.
I want to ask a question concerning mentorship.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Yeah. Is it possible for a man to have a lady as a mentor?
Is it possible for a man to have a lady as a mentor?
Lady as a mentor, yes.
Okay. All right. Please go off your phone and then listen through the radio, please. Thank you. Okay, so Ngozi, we have a question from Richard. Richard wants to know if it's possible for a woman to mentor a man. And let me add vice versa, for a man to mentor a woman as well.
Yes, it can work both ways, because we have already defined who a mentor is. And then what mentorship is all about. Does the woman or the man have experience that you desire? Does the man or woman have the knowledge, the connection, the network, the value that you want? So as long as the mentor that you desire has what you want, then it's not a problem for a woman to mentor a man or a man to mentor a woman.
Yeah. Okay.
And then, you also set the boundaries.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that.
You also said it's very important to set the boundaries, and then to also I've mentored a man before. And I was not looking at him as a man.
He was a mentee.
He was just my mentee.
Yeah. That question from Richard is leading me to ask you to please define what an ideal mentor-mentee relationship should be like, and then let us know what to look out for in a mentor.
Okay, an ideal mentor-mentee relationship, number one, like I said, the mentor should have the experience, should have the knowledge, should be accessible. It's very important. Accessibility is so important. Accessibility and available.
Yeah.
Your heart has to be in it because of your time. And most of the time, mentoring is free resource.
Yes.
Just that, these days, we are beginning to see paid mentorship. But usually it's someone who is very passionate about, adding value and making sure that the next generation or those who are coming after you're leaving the right legacy. So the mentor has to be knowledgeable, has to have the experience, and also has to have the time. And the mentee should be hungry to succeed. It's very important, and disciplined and professional, and then also have a roadmap as to where he or she is going.
It's important.
You will have a timetable. You will work out a timetable, and in a very professional way, where you have the time you're going to meet and what you're going to discuss. And then the mentee should understand that the mentor is not his or her client.
Very important.
It's someone who is volunteering their time. So punctuality to all meetings is very important. Someone who is volunteering his time or her time to invest in your life. So it's very important that is clear. And you also have to have the capacity to listen. Very important to listen, because when feedback is given to you, no holds barred, not coming to make you happy, is coming to tell you the truth, and you are also receptive of the truth. And at the end of the day, you want to move from where you are to where you want to be.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I couldn't have said this any better. You have to have an agenda. You have to know where you're going to. You have to be willing to pay the price of getting there on time. You have to soak up everything that you're told. You have to take feedback, and then work on the things you need to work on, because you're the one on the journey, and then you want to get from point A to point B. Thank you. That was very clearly, spelled out. And I think in that, we can all now decide, the qualities that our mentors should have. The numbers to call. The number to call is 07000-917-917. And the number to text is 070-317-56537. We have a question from the WhatsApp group. It's from Shola. Shola sent in this message from Oshodi. Shola says, should organizations offer mentoring programs to their female staff?
So many of them are already doing that.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, the outcome of some of those advocacy visits that we did shows that so many of those organizations have set up a well-structured mentoring program where they have the mentors in-house. Mm-hmm. And some of them also outsource, like organizations like Wimby's also organize mentoring program, corporate mentoring program, for female staff. Okay. Because like I said, if they are not deliberate about building capacity for women and strategically positioning them for leadership, it's like having your bath with one hand. Because the research by a study that was carried out by Financial Times showed that there's an incremental growth and higher return on equity where in organizations that have women at leadership position. So we are beginning to notice that most companies, especially the large corporates, are having well-structured mentoring program for women.
Okay.
Because like I said, it has to be deliberate.
Okay. Fayintoluwa is texting in from Ikeja, and she says most women have PhDs, pull her down syndrome. So why should she believe that a woman will be interested in her development, she said, and give all of this that you're enumerating, teach her, guide her, help her build capacity, and help her go on top?
I don't know whether that pull her down syndrome is I think it's overrated. Mm-hmm. When I look at my own journey, and even now with what has happened, COVID, most of the customers I have that are keeping my doors open are women. And if you want, I believe in nurturing relationship. I believe that if you want something from a woman, networking is not giving her my card the next time you're calling the person, to do something for you. Mm-hmm. So if you want that value, begin to give value.
Okay.
If you want value from a woman, begin to give value.
Okay.
Begin to not position yourself for gimme. Show that you're serious about what you want, not just because you're a woman. Mm-hmm. And also, let the person that you want something from know that you exist. And also be patient. You find out that most of these people that you are aspiring to mentor you are very, very busy.
Yeah.
And now there are so many ways that you can mentor virtually. You know, the digital space is awash with so many ways that you can communicate. The poor have Down syndrome, I think, is overrated. I'm not saying that it does not exist, but I just think that that thing that you want to have, why don't you begin to show, that you are not guilty of what you're accusing other women of.
You know what they say when you're pointing one finger somewhere for pointing back at you.
Okay, so in your own little space, who are you pulling up in your space?
Okay,
who are you pulling up? And I believe that as you continue to do that, I know that some women do not know how to network. And they believe that I have given her my card, I have given her my phone, I'm calling her, she's not responding, not knowing the kind of life the person you're trying to reach.
I have taught myself how to stick with whoever I'm pursuing part-time, I don't take it personal if you don't respond, I'm persistent, like that neighbor who went to go and borrow bread from someone in the Bible.
Yeah.
That's me. I just keep going back. I give you some time and I go back. I give you some time until you give me the time of the day that I'm asking for. So women, you may have to adopt that kind of style as well. Okay, let me go back to my questions so that I can also satisfy my own curiosity. Of course, your bio is something that we're all aspiring to have. That kind of bio, it shows that you understand networking because you don't found anything or pioneer anything in space like that. It's with human beings. And so you must be very good with networking and you must have loads of connections that you're tying together and carrying along on your journey. You're indeed an OP woman and then you're pretty soaked up, So I want us to look at one or two of these organizations that you have pioneered and founded. And there's one that the name interests me, Kingdom Investors. Could you please tell us, what is it all about?
Okay, Kingdom Investors is a journey that I started out of my pain. I also want to say that tell women or men, anyone who is listening, not to waste your pain.
Do not waste your pain.
Do not waste your pain.
Very key.
Turn the lemons to lemonade. And Ezinne, you're doing that as well.
Thank you.
I left the banking industry with no plan B at all. I moved up so fast. I moved up the ladder so fast, and I got burnt out so fast as well. So when I resigned with no exit strategy. But God came to my rescue. I also got married a few months after I resigned. I resigned with no business, no plan to work in the bank anymore. And nothing in my head. I just needed to clear my head. And so by the time I decided what I wanted to do, I did not have money to do it. I went for different trade fairs abroad. I came back with a lot of catalogs and ideas, but no money. So I used my goodwill to borrow money. And I started a business that was highly leveraged. I imported equipment. I started the business. And by the time the loan was due for repayment, the machines were still at the port.
Oh, wow.
The machines that I brought in for customization, for branding, were still yet to be cleared. So I got into debt big time. And at the time, I was planning to close down the business and go back because my colleagues in the bank were still giving me offers, mouth-watering offers. But I made up my mind I wasn't going to go back to work in the bank. And that was the time I went for a program in Lagos Business School. And I realized at that program that I confused the skill set for running a business with that of being a banker.
Being an employee.
Working as a banker. And by the time I came back from that training, everything changed. I knew what was wrong, all the wrong business decisions that I made, the kind of team that I set up, the kind of expenditure that I went into, the kind of porous control that I had. And it was like starting all over again. At that point, when I was still paying back the loan, I made up my mind that I was going to help other women so that they don't go through what I went through. And that is the story of Kingdom Investors. It was set up to provide, at that time, the time it was to provide microcredit, loan, interest-free microcredit facility, capacity building, and business coaching. And that was the story and how it started. But over the years, it has evolved. And we do not give microcredit anymore because of the experience that we had with that. But we have continued to provide free capacity building program and a business coaching for over 1,000 women have gone through Kingdom Investors program, and they have amazing testimonies.
Phenomenal.
So some of them are doing so well in their businesses. And then you see, when you don't have the skill to run a business, it's like cutting a tree with very blunt axe.
Oh, with your bare hands.
With your bare hands.
This one I understand because I'm there.
Most people think that it's money, that once they have money, they can run a business.
Nah.
You need to have the skill to run a business. You need to be jack of all trades and master of
every single one of them.
You need to know how to keep your books. You need to know how to manage and administer the business. You need to know how to manage the human resources. Everything about running a business, you need to acquire the skills.
Thank you.
Be able to run that business. And that is what Kingdom Investors has done. And as you were talking to me, I didn't know that is part of mentoring. but from the little that we have done, I can see that so many women have benefited, and they have also they are doing well in their business.
Thank you.
I did not want anybody to go through what I went through.
Thank you.
And that is what it's all about.
Time is not our friend. We have barely 3 minutes on the program. Thank you so much. Could you just quickly give us your last word on this to the woman out there looking for mentorship?
Okay, so what I want to say is you have to get organized, have a plan, set your goals, where you want to go, and then begin to, it's not a wish, have an action plan.
Yeah.
Now that the year is just starting, make it plain, write it down. Get an accountability partner. And if there is any person, male or female out there, that you want to be what they are now, don't be proud or arrogant to seek them out as your mentor.
Yeah.
And I think that in doing that, you will fast track. I don't believe that experience is the best teacher. When you are learning from me, then that means you won't make my mistakes. True. So you don't want to experience it.
True.
So that is my advice to anyone who is out there and wondering how they want to be mentored.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ngozi, for coming on the show. We have learned quite a lot from you today. Thank you
very much for having me.
Thank you for sharing from your wealth of experience.
Thank you so much.
In this day and time where everyone is master and mistress of something without practical experience, you shone convincingly, because you have experienced, the stuff, and it's calling your name. God bless you and fill you up again, because you have a job to do. Setting up mentoring agencies, you know. You have a job to do, setting up mentoring networks across cultures, demographics, etc., where women in leadership will volunteer to give back of their time and experience. It is my belief that the gender gap will be bridged faster this way. Mentor a woman to become and then sponsor her into a role where she can make the most impact. And then she pays it forward. And on the cycle goes. And boom, a sister club is born to deepen the woman supporting woman agenda. Thank you very much. God bless you and see you on the other side of 5.
Thank you so much, Ezinne. I'm glad.
My takeout today is that a good mentor focuses on the mentee's total development, coaching the mentee and teaching specific skills, but also sharing resources and network contacts, challenging the mentee and creating a safe learning environment that encourages the mentee to take risks and share vulnerabilities. The right woman-to-woman mentoring relationship will benefit the mentor as much as the mentee. It will be not only personally gratifying, but also will give the mentor a new perspective of life. Okay? So woman, do not be careless over your life. A lot of destinies are tied to your standing up, signing up, and running with your dreams. Start a mentoring relationship today. Let that be your Valentine gift to yourself this year. But please be intentional in choosing a mentor. It is not a one-size-fits-all. Your boss may not necessarily be the best fit mentor for you. So like they say, shine your eye. Get a mentor for all areas where you need the most: career, financial growth, personal development, health and lifestyle, education, love and marriage. Seek and you shall find. Our guest today gave so much of herself, and her NGO, Kingdom Investors, it's a good place to start. I was there many years ago and I learned a lot there. Lots of free capacity building opportunities and amazing, purposeful, powerful women who are not scared that you will run them out of town if they poured into you. And woman, yes, you listening to me, don't waste your mentor's time. Don't abuse the privilege. Do not blur the lines like we tend to do often. Keep it respectful and professional and grab what you came to learn. It's a relationship. Work it well and it will work for you. Our guest today certainly knows how to work relationships. We saw from all the things she has founded. Is your time, woman, begin to soak up. And this is where we wrap today's edition of UpyouwithEzinne. It's been another amazing one. Please follow us on Instagram and all social media platforms. Buy copies of our books, UpYou, and When Advice Strikes 5, thank you. Big up to everyone who is involved in creating this magic every week. Starting with you, dear listeners, our guests, our advertisers, callers, engineers on duty, my darling Taiwo, the amazing UpYou team, and best radio station, WFM 91.7. You all stay strong, stay blessed, and stay lifted. My name is Ezinne Kufre Kanem. Until next time, UpYou.